great day. This is the first show of the Gadget Expo, Repair Expo. It's been a lot of fun. I saw many great people over here. We have speakers. We have, actually, I'm surprised that this turned to be a great show. The floor is full. Everybody is excited. So much power, so much energy in the room. And I thank everybody for making it over here. Man, this is an amazing panel.
It has been awesome.
Isn't it?
This panel, it took a lot to put together.
Yeah.
But the whole goal of it is just to teach you guys different things that you can offer at your store and answer questions. So it's more of an open question session than us talking to you.
Yeah.
So that's what the goal is here.
Jeremy put us together on a text group or a Facebook messenger?
Facebook group.
24/7. We're texting back and forth. Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? I'll tell you what, it was a lot. I learned a lot. I've been in conventions before, but this is here, put so together with a lot of love, a lot of experience, so much passion, and thank you so much for all of you guys over here.
Yeah.
Let's dig deep now. Let me start with, are you the first one? Well, I'm the first one.
Yeah. You got to talk about yourself first, Ahmed.
Okay. I come from so I'm going to be just speaking, introducing everybody to you. You're going to be asking any questions. If you guys want to learn from, in the wireless, prepaid, marketing, financing, repair, recycling, you got everybody over here. You got the heroes over here. Seriously, this is here, the unbreakable team. So ask any questions. And I'll be here helping as well because I have some, I'm marketing, branding, sales, but I do have wireless and prepaid experience background. And we had one prepaid gentleman on the panel, but he didn't make it. So I'll cover his questions if anybody want to ask anything about wireless or any cell phone, SIM cards, anything like that. Okay, my name is Ahmed. I've been in the wireless business for almost 30 years. Owned and operated stores across the 4 states, sold, built, did everything I can do. But at the end of the day, I sold them all. I dedicated my time to be a master agent to help the small businesses in America to grow and add prepaid. And now I added marketing. I know enough about repair. I've never fixed a phone in my hand. Maybe I did once or twice, but I'm not the expert when it comes to this. These gentlemen over here and everybody over here will know more than me.
The ladies.
If you have questions about, what is it?
The ladies.
It's the ladies, actually.
She's not here. She's not here. Don't put me in trouble now. Okay. Marketing, branding, prepaid, wireless expert, and growth and sales and training. That's what I do. If you have any question, I can help, but Cory over here as well, he can help us. We can bounce back and forth with our answers. The next person is Joshua. Joshua Hample. If I say anybody's name wrong, correct me.
Yeah, you're close.
Okay, all right. Joshua invented a consignment program for the cell phones. So if you don't have phones to sell in your stores, this guy here, the one that you need to talk to. Finance handsets. I've never seen this happen before. I don't know how, but he made it happen. So, consignment handset, cell phone inventory, customer inventory tracking platform. I'll let him speak about this in a little bit. Frequent stock balancing, which is, I guess, you know what they have, they know what you have, and all these things, something like this. Expert marketing tools and support. Welcome, Joshua.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Cory. Repair Shop Marketing Agency. I love Cory. I see him. He's full of energy, passion. He comes from the industry. He ran his own stores, so he speaks from experience. I like people when they come from the industry because they know the pain and what we go through, what you go through with your customers, how to grow your traffic, how to increase your sales, all these things. Graphic designer, PPC, SEO, web designer, repair shops, one-stop shop for everything marketing. This is the guy right here if you want to talk to him about marketing as well. Welcome, Cory.
Thank you.
What's his name, this guy?
It was a last minute change. It was a last minute change.
But I didn't want to say the wrong name because I appreciate it. Was someone else was supposed to. What happened? Is he okay?
Yeah, my co-founder is not feeling well, so he was supposed to come and get.
Okay, sorry. The founder. Yeah, you're one of the founders too.
Yeah, so we're both co-founders. We basically do everything related to device protection.
Yes, and an amazing program. Like one of a kind, and you guys ask him and he'll tell you it's true. I've seen questions in the groups. Is it really true? Yeah, it is true. He's right. So welcome. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
Naw Ring. This is the guy. If you want to fix anything, if you want to know how to maximize your profit, specialized in screen refurbishing. Of course, the screen repair and refurbishing is two different things. He'll talk about it. I'll let him do that. Helping repair shops owners maximize their profit. Of course, you gotta make, listen, 12 hours a day in the store, I gotta make the most money I can. I cannot believe that the stores, they waited, they say, we don't do this, we do this, we do that. It's not up to all you, it's up to the consumer. We give the consumers what they want. Of course, you do whatever you want at the end of the day, but maximize your profit. I love that word. Quality control over machine. The guy has many, many things. I don't want to speak in your behalf. I'll let you talk. But definitely, he is the guy when it comes to refurbishing and some cool stuff. I saw you down there having some stuff going on. We'll talk about it in a minute. Welcome now. You're welcome. Brandon French, the banker. Where is he? He's right there. If you want to, when you go and see a car in a car lot, you see whatever you like, they tell you, okay, you're ready? Okay, go talk to the banker. That's the banker right there. So if you want to finance phones, your customers like the phone, they cannot afford it. As little as $50 down, they can walk out with iPhone 12 or 13 Pro Max. This is the guy, he'll talk to you about more stuff than me. The customer can pay 90 days at same as cash. There is no financing, so he's given them options. There's more than one option for the customers. They the same thing. You give the power to the consumer. The customers who pays us all. We all make money. They can fire us and they can hire us, right? Like Sam said. So this is the guy can help you as well to make more and sell more faster. Thank you, Brandon. Welcome, Brandon. Besides that, he's a very close friend. Love you, Brandon. Sarah Kim. Sarah Kim, I've seen her many times. She is amazing. She is the electronic. She run.
The Electronic Reuse Conference. I think it would be, I thought it was great to have her here.
Yes, yes.
You guys really need to learn about the ERC conference.
If you guys want to know about the R2 technical, and all the good stuff about it, she's right here. She helps you with recycling. She can introduce you to the industry and increase your money and do all cool stuff with her as well. Welcome, Sarah. We have, Nicole, the Queen Nicole. She's in the house, baby. Yeah, technical training, technical support, training, development, everything, growth, consulting. She can help you with all the repair, and she's a good resource to direct you to everybody over here. So she is right there, is the hub. If you want to get a hold of anybody, she's the lady right there. And you are more active on social media than anyone of us. Yeah. Okay, so welcome, Nicole. I need my glasses. Okay, Tony Baker is not here. I hope he makes it. He's down on the floor, so I'll leave him and I'll introduce him if he comes in. Oh, he's not here yet. Okay. But handsets, same thing. I'm sorry, I didn't want to, cut you, Tony. But hopefully he makes it here. Michelle is a dictionary, moving information, rich information. She wrote a book. I want to see your book, Michelle. You really wrote a book?
I've actually written 10. I've got 2 out right now.
Are you serious?
Yes.
About repairs and all this stuff?
I write for children.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm old now for these. I'll give it to my kids. No, but this is good. Really? Kids' books?
Yes.
Love it. Okay, awesome.
For kids.
I love it. Okay, she's a repair instructor as well, advisory. I've heard she has I think you have the highest certificate anybody I've ever seen. 100 something, right?
150 OEM certifications.
Wow, okay. That's awesome. Guys, these stores are fighting not to take one certificate. I've seen some people, I don't need one. This woman, how many 100 what?
150.
150, okay. Enough for all of us here. Okay, I love it, Michelle. Okay. Joshua Holiday, the phone flipper, Cellbotics phone. Flipping instructor. Welcome. Okay. Benjamin. Russo. Sorry. Okay. Systems, teams, microsoldering training. He has a combination of everything. Welcome, Benjamin.
Great hair, like him and Tony.
Of course, he's, yeah. I wish I had your hair now. Tabitha is the same thing. She's in Salbotic game, game system and phone repair instructor. Welcome, Tabitha. Let me go. Anybody left? Okay, Benjamin didn't make it over here. Had a family, situation. So if anybody want to talk about prepaid,
Tony
ask any
finally
questions
made
about
it.
the prepaid, I'll be right here. Tony Baker in the house, baby. Right here, handsome looking man. I love your beard and your hair. I love it. Okay, device inventory, competitive pricing, customer satisfaction, best warranty on devices. He is the most active one on social media when it comes to phones. Welcome, Tony. Okay, so we have, you guys know, everybody knows what everybody's doing over here. If anybody have any questions, we can go from there. You can speak and tell everybody what you do if you want to go. 1 minute. You want to talk a little bit about what you do, guys, or you just want to start with questions?
No, start with questions.
Start with questions, let's do it.
There you go.
No question.
No.
Who's got a question? Question. Just turn around and take mine. Just toss it.
Right.
Whoever catches it.
Hey everybody, I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I have 4 locations there, and my question is, what do you guys recommend I should do if I'm looking to hire employees? That's one of my biggest challenges right now.
Okay.
I'm kind of debating between myself on hiring people who already have a technical background or someone who is more of a sales background.
Okay,
I'll take it.
go for it.
Okay, number one, whether they have a technical or a sales background really isn't important. Number one, you want somebody that wants to do it. Because you can hire anybody that has a technical background, but if they have a bad attitude, then you're still not getting the work performed. You want to hire somebody that's teachable. You want to hire somebody that's trainable. And if you're doing that, then that'll work for you. You want them to have a mix. You want them to be able to think to the next level. That way, you're planning your exit strategy. This way, you can scale up because they can see growth in your company. So you got 4 stores. You want to go to 6 stores. If you train them upward, then you can open another store after that because you've got somebody that knows the career path that you're going to lead them on.
Can I jump in on that?
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, and Sumer, you and I talked about this yesterday. I think it also really comes down to the structure of your business, right? Like if you're selling a lot of devices, then I think it's really important to, have those salespeople and, maybe not pay them hourly or pay them hourly, but also line up their compensation with your benefit, right? Line up you guys' incentives. Now, if you're only doing repairs, then I think it's very important that everyone can fix. Otherwise, it's really going to eat into your profit margins to have that extra sales guy there. But the name of the panel is diversify services. So I think, going the sales route way is the way to go if you're selling devices.
Yeah, I would say is first you just have to kind of lay out, when you talk about hiring somebody, like what's the ultimate goal here? Is it to open more stores or make your current stores more independent from you? So are you having like issues with them asking you a lot of questions, or your managers are bogged down, or you just, who's overworked? Like what's...
Right. So at the moment, I've had 4 employees in the last 2 weeks with their 2 weeks in.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like, when I get back into town, I'm pretty much in that state of interviewing, hiring,
Right.
So I can't even think about beginning to scale until I can make sure the stores
Okay.
staff.
Yeah, so it just sounds like to me, so you figured that out already, right? So it's not scaling, it's just supplying what you've already got there, right?
It's like maximizing the stores that I already have, trying to figure out how I can be a little bit take a step back and kind of not be worried the stores aren't reaching their maximum potential.
Right.
I'm not physically there.
Right.
So yeah.
The thing about training people is that they have to have time, and you have to have someone that can just work with them to make sure that they're seeing through with that training, right? Because you can train someone all you want to, but it's all about the implementation after the training and what the follow-up is on it and the support that they get, or they won't be successful. So yeah, you can look for someone. It sounds like to me you're having a technician issue, or did you lose salespeople?
A little bit of both. So you know, our technicians and salespeople, they're kind of like, they're diverted, like,
Okay.
both worlds, right? So, I guess the struggle that I'm having is I'm trying to figure out, should I hire someone who already has a background in cell phone repair, which by the way is pretty hard.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of like, there's a learning curve, right? Like,
Yes.
if you don't come from a phone background. When that customer walks in and they're like, I need to fix my
I think-
they don't know what model it is.
Yeah. Well, I think what your issue is if you don't have a choice, you have to find someone who has experience. But then you've kind of, after that, just use this as a learning lesson. Like when we work with stores like yours, or we work with depots too, our main goal is to make sure that every position is able to be replaced if the person decides to leave. So we do things like, you know, process documentation of the person's jobs and everything that they do. And we do that through a process of video recording every process that they do for their job. And we make sure that we reassure them that it's not to replace them, it's just company security. And we do it all at the same time throughout all departments, so then nobody feels targeted. Like, we're not gonna go to Jill in accounting and say, hey, we wanna document everything you do, and not do it to anyone else.
Question on that?
Yes,
How do you store that? Like, what, you use Airtable to do it, but how do you?
So we use a server, or we have like a retail platform that we use, or a server. So if you have a server, we'll save the videos by the task, and then we have a handbook that ties back to them.
So that each person knows how to access them.
Correct. And we really did this really big during COVID, because I had a lot of people that were out at certain times. And, you know, prior to that, we still did document positions, but it wasn't as thoroughly, you know what I mean? So I think where you're at right now is you have to hire what you have to hire, okay? But then take this as a lesson learned. You need to develop that internal training platform, because if you had an internal training platform or a platform that you could rely on, this wouldn't even be a concern. You see what I mean? So right now you're losing 4 people. It sounds like you also need to check into your culture why 4 people would put in notices like that together. Sounds like to me that was planned, and it may be intentional. So just look into your company culture and see what's going on there. You know, that's not an accident, you know? Yeah. And I just want to, just 1 second, just let me finish my thought. So, yeah, so you want to make sure that you document in the future, hire what you have to right now, and hopefully you find the good people that you can find. And then, you know, when you're looking to train people in the beginning, when you hire people that don't know anything, it's real important that you have those slides, that book material. I'm not trying to just plug us, but we do have that. We have the platform already for hiring people that are new, and giving whoever you're going to designate as a trainer, actually give them train the trainer videos, like how I taught these people to be trainers. They were not trainers when I brought them on.
So you have something in place. Like someone who has never stepped from like
Yes.
store, you have training that can get them to where.
Yes, so our Cellbotics is for beginners. We don't work with advanced people. So every training product we have is for someone who's never done repair. And so we just realized that there is a need for depots and stores to have a training program, like a new hire. You send a new hire down, they watch it. But then we realized the people you're having sit with them don't know what they're doing. So we developed a train the trainer to go with it. You can come down to the booth later and we'll show it to you. It's actually open down there live, okay? What was your question? I'm sorry.
My question was we're a single store, Crack Gadgets in Southern Indiana near
Oh,
Hample.
yeah.
As much as we are, in a way, recycling people's products, we're a repair shop, and we're getting that old phone more life again, or that new phone life again. It bugs me to no end that I can't find a dependable source to dispose of lithium batteries and to dispose of cracked screens that we are trying to stop from throwing in the garbage. Because if I'm one store and it's bothering me, how are these guys that are recycling through thousands of phones doing it? Or are they not?
Are you selling your cracked screens to like a wholesaler?
Yes, so
Okay.
the good ones, the ones that are usable.
Okay.
Non-OEM, or ones that have no touch or no LCD, those pile up, and I hate throwing those away.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to have that problem right now. You know, so again, my name is Sarah Kim, and I run the Electronics Reuse Conference. So, but I also have a lot of experience kind of bridging that gap between like the reuse world and the recycling world, because there really is, you know, kind of a whole nother like level of company that really is just trying to recycle. Batteries are a pretty big problem right now, and we can talk specifically about like where you are located, and probably what I would have you do is try to meet up with a R2 certified company like in your area. Even if they charge you for lithium ion batteries, at this point you'll ensure that they're handled properly, but then also that they'll get disposed of properly. So the Siri website actually has like an entire list that you can search by zip code, and then you'll be able to like contact them directly and say, hey, I'm local to you. You know, I have X amount of batteries I'm trying to get rid of, you know, every however often. They might give you some tips like, you know, this is how you should store them, or they might want them taped if they're, you know, laptop batteries, etc. But I would start there. That's probably your best bet. If not, we can talk more and I'll help you find a place that's a little bit better. Right now, realistically, you might have to pay for them to get handled properly.
Do you guys know the Siri website? Have you heard of that before?
So it's sustainableelectronics.org is the website.
Oh, can I break in for just a second? For you folks in the back, we've got all kind of seats.
There's some chairs over here. Yes, please.
Yeah, come on.
And here in the middle.
Question, anybody?
I'm a little embarrassed, but after hearing everyone speak and hearing all the wonderful minds talk, I realize I'm really unorganized. I do well, but I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I use Repair Desk, and it's a mess. I don't input tickets. If you come into my store, I take a yellow piece of tape, put your name on it, fix the screen in a mall, right? Check them out, 1, 2, 3. I don't use my POS software properly. I do marketing on Google, Facebook, YouTube, billboards. There's nothing I don't do. I pay up all the carrier stores in the mall, buy them pizza, buy them food, give them spiffs. I do everything I possibly can. But I feel like after hearing everyone speak, I'm like more lost than I ever was before. I mean, I know Benjamin has a whole course to teach you how to, his SOPs and everything, and I guess I should start there, but then I can't say I have no time because I have to make time. So I'm just like overwhelmed right now with how am I successful if I'm such a failure? In a sense, right? I'm not a failure, but like, how am I just, I'm like overwhelmed. Like,
Are you using ticketing at all?
zero. I don't even know what that is. I have no idea what that means.
I would start there.
Like,
I think incremental steps.
Printing out like barcodes? Like,
Yeah.
Brother printer, small printer.
I have that. And I don't even know how to use it.
An earlier like employee routine, right? It's because they know you're not going to do anything about it. Because you're not doing anything about your business, they know you're not going to do anything about them being an hour and a half late.
Well, there was traffic. I'm not making excuses for anyone, right? It was a fluke. It's the first time in a year the store opened an hour late. Usually it's 5 minutes late. That was my issue, 10 minutes. This was a fluke. Of course I'm here, but yeah. So all right, ticketing, I guess. I mean, the Repair Desk guy, he's not here, but he didn't help at all. It was horrible. I should probably go with Repair too. Dude, he didn't want to hear a word I had to say. He's like, yeah, here. Here's my guy. He'll reach out to you next week. I'm like, okay.
Did you take his name?
Name. I have 40,000 email lists. I keep I keep that. I have email blast, constant contact. I do everything I'm supposed to do, but I'm unorganized. I need a day, I guess, a week or 2 days a week to run these. I've never had a report in 6 months.
Why don't you hire an assistant?
There you go. First thing.
How many locations do you have?
One location. I've had 10, 9, 1 because I can't do that. I can't cut myself in half.
How many locations do you have?
Only 4 or 5 now because I had so many. But it sounds ridiculous. Like, where
I would probably hire somebody like a
And 4 kids, by
general
the way.
manager for your that location that can do all the, just, you're paying pretty good, he said $25 an hour.
Yeah, but then see, I messed up, right? Because I put them on 40 hours a week, not saying $50,000 on a salary. I messed up in the mall hours. It's 120 hours in a week. It's
True, but Nicole said earlier about you giving them a goal to reach, like if you're doing 30,000, do 60,000, so give them more tasks to
so
do.
what I took from before the daily.
Yeah,
the
break
daily
it down
goals.
to
Daily
daily
reports.
tasks, the daily tasks that they can make the bonus or commission.
Someone else told me before. I forgot. Like,
Not a checklist.
over $3,000, they get there's a bonus for a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just start with the daily in and out checklist as far as how to start the day and how to end the day. That's been, we call them non-negotiables. Essentially just outlines like what exactly you need to do. And I'll tell you, like, if anyone follows me on Facebook, I talk about how repair shops are too complex. Like, I'm not posting that for anyone but myself. Like, I'm my own worst enemy. Like, if it's not for SOPs, like, my store would be exactly like Ben 1.0 all over again. Like,
I'm Ben 1.0.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And it really came down to a time where I was just like, I'm my own worst enemy. Like, I break all my own rules. I have all these great ideas, but then I do them like halfway and then change it halfway in between. And all my employees are just like, man, this dude's doing like crazy stuff all day. I guess I'll just change whatever I'm doing. So they just do it slightly different every single time. And not that any of like the methods that anyone's doing is wrong. It's just that they're different and you can't track them. You don't know what anyone's doing at any given time. So I would just start with an opening and closing checklist, because I think all that you need to do is just confirm to yourself that the little bit of, because you can always overwhelm yourself to say, do I need to print out barcodes? Do I need to do this? Like, I think that's too complex at this point. Just make an opening and closing checklist, nail that for a week and say, cool, got that on my belt. Now I feel good. Now let me just start doing barcodes. And then continue to do what you did the week before and then build on that. And what you need to do is document. It has to be documented in the way that you do it. So whenever I rebuilt my repair shop after, like I had 4 or 5 employees walk out at the same time. I closed a second store. Like it was all very planned. But the biggest thing with that, I was like, well, I had no control of my business. So what I did, I literally carried a clipboard to myself as I worked day in and day out in the store. And I started writing down everything that I did. So if I talked with a customer, I was like, that was really good. I would write down exactly what I said. And I was like, hey guys, like when we get a customer coming in, we're gonna use these phrases because this works the best.
We do that, yeah.
And then, hey, I filled out the work order this way because that works the best. And that's where we're gonna do it. And the way that you approach it is, if you ever read the book, like How to Influence or How to Win Friends and Influence People, you always pitch everything as a benefit to that individual, and also that it's to prevent them from making a mistake. And so the way that we always pitch SOPs is to say, hey, because you're such a valued team member and you do so well around here, I want to make this process as easy as possible for you, because I know that just like myself, you hate having to do rework or be confused or be out of the loop. So I created this bulletproof process that's going to make sure that you can, leverage your skills without having to worry about like backtracking to figure out where we put the phone or what the customer really needed, because we have it all documented from the get-go. Are you willing to work with me and implement this next week? And we're going to collaborate and make sure we can nail this. Like, are you willing to work with that? You get the commitment and you go from there. And that's really what we've done, and that's what brought me to this point where,
the one, overcome one objection, I think, a week.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weeks, 52 weeks in a year. I can do a lot with that. So
yeah.
They call me the worst employee, by the way. Yeah. I'm the worst employee. Not in a negative way, but like I make the rules and I break every single one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to actually comment on that, because I think we're talking about the symptoms instead of the cause. I think going back to hiring employees and people having that shrink or the employee turnover and this type of situation, I think a lot of it comes back down to expectations, right? I have expectations of myself and my staff, and those expectations are non-negotiable, right? And so if I expect, you said you have 4 kids, and so the expectation of your kids to do their chores is probably pretty high, I would assume.
All under 5.
Okay, maybe not then. But there's a set of expectations there, and so if the expectation is when you write someone's time card and a schedule, you expect them to be there at that time. And so 5 minutes late, my opinion is, you're on your way out at that point. If you're an hour and a half late, then you might as well not even come. So if you hold them to a higher standard and a series of expectations, going back to hiring employees, the co-founder of Certified Cell had 4 repair shops, and I worked with him quite a bit as well. And he was very scared to hire a sales-focused manager for a repair shop because it's a technical business. And so one of the things I said to him is, hire this manager, but let's talk about a series of expectations that you need to outline before this person steps foot in your door. And the one expectation he had for him was that you cover your salary in an increased accessory sales in the first month. Otherwise, I can't afford you. I'm going to pay you more than I've ever paid anyone before, and I need you to own the store. But my expectation is you pay for yourself. And accessory sales for someone that is in sales, a sales-focused leader, should be pretty easy. And so it was a series of expectations that he laid out, and that store has since grown 400%. But because the expectations were set, and they've never wavered. As soon as they start to waver, you give an inch, they take a mile. Everyone in this room knows that. But you're scared because they're technicians and they're the people that run your business. But they will walk all over you if you let them. And you have to set an expectation and a standard. And you have to stick with it, as sometimes it's hard. And so a bunch of these are all expectations based, in my opinion.
Inspect or you expect.
Kind of what I want to talk to you about is, I like how honest you are with yourself, that you are the source of the problem, right? Because you're not, right? So I think we can all tell you these processes and things to put in place, but in reality, you're the problem. And so no matter who puts you in a program, what videos you watch, what Zoom calls you're on, you're not going to implement. So, I dealt with that a long time ago, and what I did is I hired a coach. So a one-on-one coach is much more hold your feet to the fire than like a group program. So just keep that in mind, like Bob LaFawn is a coach, I do coaching individually. I think some people, like myself, I was that way. I was like, I know I need to do it, but then I don't do it, and I shortcut it, and I want my team to do it, but then I'm not even doing that. And it was a long time ago, and this was, back 2011, and I've since then changed, but I only changed that with coaches. I mean, currently right now I have 3 coaches. And so just look into it. If you take a program, like I know Ben's program is great, if you take it and you're still struggling with that, you may need an individual coach who holds you accountable and says, hey, look, we talked about this last week and you didn't do it. Now we're gonna, yeah, Ben, oh, you do individual. Yeah. Okay, so his accelerator program is individual. I thought it was group. Okay, so yeah, he's got a great program. So if somebody should just hold you to it, because it sounds like to me you have more of a motivation and dedication issue than you do a process issue. You have to be dedicated to implement those and hardcore to it. And I've lost that motivation before, so I understand what you're talking about. And it's just like you're kind of lost direction. You went from 10 stores to 1 store. So I get what you're saying. So I would just definitely, if you can get in Ben's program, his program is great. I'm sure it will work for you, but if for some reason, just look for a coach because they really do help.
And I've got one thing to say.
But the first step is admitting the problem. So you're like halfway there.
Right. I know. I'm like, this is great.
You got it.
Right. Problem. I know. So you're looking for a solution.
Exactly.
See, that's good. That's good. Yeah, you're in a good one.
And another thing I just want to add to the hiring, we interview all year. Whether we need people, we don't need people. We have files with good guys that whenever the time comes in, we just call them. We had a tough time in the past 2 years. Everybody did. I bet you every common problem in this room is hiring. Everybody. And maybe not everybody, but I bet you the majority. So to solve this, even when you're comfortable and you have good employees, it's okay to look for interview people. When they tell you, okay, you just want to know that they're available. And when they tell you, just interview them, have the database, we'll let you know when we need you. Then you go back again and pull the file when you need them. And that's what I have. I mean, I always have, I told my HR, we have an interview every week. I have to have someone every week. This morning, 6:30 in the morning, I had a Zoom call with an interview with the developer. We're looking for a developer, and it happened to be he's free now. I said, okay, let's make it happen. I didn't know the time difference. So it was 7:30. Sorry, 7:30. So 6:30 there, 7:30 here. So anyway. But just interview all the time. And I'm sure you guys have database, you can go back and pull good guys. This way you're not desperate and go back and pull the ones that you let go and beg them to come back and work for you.
Exactly. Okay, I want to address your documentation, because it's one of the things I address in class. Documentation is like advocating the law, and we don't document. It's bad not only for you, but for the client, because if they come back with an issue, they can take you to court. You don't have any documentation to substantiate what you've done or have not done. That's why it's important. Now, when I teach it, when I start out in class, you can go to Staples. They got these three-part forms. Just use those. You got one for the client, one for you, and one for the IRS. Okay? All right, next question.
I got a question. My question for Josh. So,
yeah, which one?
Oh, sorry. Flipping Josh.
Oh, yeah, there's another Josh out there.
Flipping Josh, sorry.
That's not my Josh. I used to be Josh.
Flipping Josh. So, question. We want to get in the buyback space.
Okay.
There's 2 concerns I've got.
Okay.
One is being able to buy a product that's not blacklisted or any of those issues. And then the other thing is pricing the phones within a range that we can make, a good amount of margin on it. So how do you go about deciding, or what? Is there some sort of form you use or some website you use to base your pricing off of?
Yeah, definitely. That microphone for you. Hey, you guys, what's going on? I'm Josh.
Hey, you guys, but that was a good question, and honestly, that is just the most common question that I have been getting all day. Like, hey Josh, I want to get back in the buyback space, but I want to avoid getting blacklisted, and I want to avoid, buying a bad phone from somebody and losing my money. And the simple answer to that is you can simply unlock the phone, you guys. You can unlock the phone, and now I'm not talking about the SIM card unlock to where you did reset the phone and it's back locked to the carrier, which I'm pretty sure you know about. You can actually network unlock, and we teach that here at Cell Bodies, how to network unlock AT&T, Verizon carriers. That way you're selling unlocked phones, and we all know once the phone is unlocked, it's not going back blacklisted. We also give out different methods to avoid blacklisted, even if you don't want to unlock it. And it's very simple, simpler than what you guys would think. But I knew this because I did my research by going to the Verizon stores. I went to the T-Mobile stores, and I sat down and I talked with the managers to find out how can I avoid this. I had the same similar issue. I was getting blacklisted when I first started phone flipping, and I was losing money left to right. So I had to figure that out. So the answer to that question is you simply got to figure out how to unlock that, and we teach that here in the course. I have an online course and I have an in-person course where I can help you go through the process and understand that. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. And I also have somebody in here who already started the unlocking process, so tomorrow that person can also give you information about that. And as far as like pricing your buys, that's actually the easy part, in a sense. It's actually very easy because you can use multiple different platforms to price your buys for a maximum amount of profit, you guys. Literally, you can make $300 plus, $200 plus, sometimes $400 plus doing this buyback stuff, especially if you know how to price your buys, and that is very important. You can use different websites like, I'll give you guys the game right now, and everybody use this platform, eBay. You can literally use eBay to price your buys. That way you can get a good idea of what is everybody in the market even buying this iPhone 12 Pro Max for, so I know how to quote my buyers. And when you know how to unlock it, you make even more money based on that. So I teach that, you guys, and I teach it literally A through Z, and I teach it very thorough because I want to make sure that you understand, how to phone flip, how to do this buyback thing, and I want to make sure you don't get blacklisted. I want to make sure that, you maximize your money, you're growing your business instead of losing money doing that. So that's what I teach. Does that answer your question pretty much?
Yeah, it does. I want to piggyback on that as well. That's a really good question about the pricing. And so what we've done at RepairLift is we've actually built two tools for that. One we built, and another we partnered with a company called Buyback AI. They're actually here. Our tool updates weekly. We pull our pricing from a direct buyer. And I think this is really important to look at direct buyer pricing, because if you're buying under what a direct buyer's pricing, you'll never lose money. If everything goes smooth, right? If you get black and small, whatever. But in terms of pricing, if you know this guy's buying XRs for $200 and you're buying them at $185, you're trying to flip them at retail level, you're gonna make money there, but you're never overstocked because okay, now I can take all my overstock and I can dump it off to this guy. So there's a number of places you can check, like Atlas Mobile. I don't know if those guys are here. That's I think it's Atlas Mobile Code. .com or something like that.
They have an online sheet.
Yeah, it's a spreadsheet. They'll show you every variable for every single phone. Write that down. Every variable for every single phone, and it updates weekly. And our tool actually pulls from there. So we have a website you can set up, and you can quote customers, and it'll automatically send them the price, and you can adjust it by percentage. Hey, I want to pay on iPhones 10% less than what they're buying for, so I'm always in the money. Or maybe I have a really good, direct-to-consumer business, and I sell tons of phones, so I want to price myself higher than them so that I'm getting more volume of those buybacks, and you can do it that way too. And another great tool is Buyback AI. You can check them. They have a catalog that I think ranges through all phones, down to computers, monitors, game consoles, whatever you want to buy back. And then standard direct buyer pricing, you're gonna make a lot of money.
Okay.
One thing I'll come back.